What's up YouTube, it's Freight Hero here, and I'm going to deck profile my Narukami deck profile. It took a little longer than usual due to me waiting on getting some cards because people weren't there when I was picking up cards. But anyway, enough rambling. Starter, Spark Kid, oh, too far. 4 heals, 4 PGs, 1 extra draw. A lot of people do play 6. I like 5. Feels better to me. Playing 4 fronts. I actually just really like fronts in this deck because of how I play the deck. I tend to be a bit more aggressive. Usually on the second turn of being on grade 3, I will usually slap down a full board and try to swing face. Depending on the matchup, but usually that's the game plan. It may not be the best game plan, but it works out for the most part. But also, yeah, fronts are just good when you have a board, so yeah. And then I'm playing the 3 crit build. I see a lot of people's trigger ratios are like 6-6-2, which is fair. Usually the crit is at 2. Or wait, not 6-6-2, sorry, 6-4-2. But I do see a lot of 6-6-2s as well, or 6-6-4s, because the 4 is the heal. But yeah, it's usually Japan that plays 6 front, 6 draw, or they play rainbow. Western players, I noticed, like to play the 6 front or crit, and then like the 2 front or 2 crit, you know, interchangeably, stuff like that. But usually it's the 2 crit I see the most. I would say you want to run at least some amount of crits for the fact that your opponent has to consider when they want to no guard, because if you don't play any crits, they're just going to no guard you at 4 every time, and then it just like feels bad, man. You could just kill them. And putting crits onto Detonics' restand early game is also pretty insane, so that's why I can definitely see the argument of playing like 8 crit, 6 crit, whatever, because when you go first and you restand with crit, it's pretty crazy. 4 Phoenixes, best grade 1, keeps going back except for the mirror match, and doesn't even feel bad when you guard with it. 4 Demolition Dragons, best going second card, and also helps you hit force numbers. 4 Ricky, just because we want to make sure we can draw into them when we need them as much as possible. Helps you soul blast out your Phoenix if you don't have Death Scythe and don't want to burn the 2 soul. And then yeah, moving back row into the front to hit more cards out of their field so you don't have to discard so many cards for Detonics. I'm personally playing the 1 Helena now. I used to play 10 threes, saw too many threes, so we cut it down to 9. So we just put this instead. This actually does come in handy when they try to play the Counterblast denial game, so if you either only have 1 Counterblast to work with, you can get 1 more, or if you have none and you happen to have Death Scythe and 3 soul, you can combo it that way, like if people actually damage deny you. That's why I like it, as opposed to playing the girl who gives units power. That does help with pushes, but I'd much rather be safe and actually be able to use my effects. 4 Recklessness, I always forget it has a Vanguard rearguard, not just a rearguard skill. 4 Death Scythes, 14k attacker on rear usually, if the condition's met, and then if not, it's also the Soul Blast 2 to make your opponent bind, or well, you bind a card on their front row and gains +3, so it hits numbers. And then 2 Thunderstorm Dragoons, was playing 3. It's just an easy vanilla card that swings for 14, and it's just overall solid card. It doesn't do much outside of that. Playing 1 of this card now, not just because we don't have 3 Thunderstorms, but I've found myself in the position of needing to move back a card from back to front, but I don't want to either Soul Blast for Ricky, or I don't have Ricky, so this is just an alternative to doing so, and if not, on the turn it's called, it can become a 12k if you don't move something, so pretty okay card overall. I'm definitely more excited for when this deck gets more support and we get better cards. Grade 3s, 4 Stinger, I'd much rather see this over something like Vermilion or Great Composure, which is why I play 4 instead of the 3, since it has actually a good rear guard. Well, so is Great Composure, but it's not as versatile, which is why we have that. And we're also not playing Great Composure, so that's another reason. 4 Stingers, or Drills, sorry, since it's the main Vanguard of the deck. Restanding is insane. If you're playing against the deck, try your best to call a booster to force the discard 1 on the restands, because letting them restand for free is pretty bad Vanguard. Outside of that, yeah, this deck requires a lot of discarding, which is why people people are playing the 6 draw triggers, because you need extra discard cards and to see combo pieces. So that's why definitely you don't want to cut away from draws. So you definitely want to play like 5 to 6. Sting or Drill is a great card. And then yeah, 1 Vermilion. This is for the XL matchups. There's a good amount of my locals to warrant playing this. I was playing 2, like I said, when I was playing 10 grade 3s, but card was a brick most of the time. And then I was drive checking and seeing just a lot of grade 3s period, so that 9-3s, and like I mentioned earlier, as to why I didn't cut away from Stingers. I just prefer that. And like, not seeing the Vermilion in the XL matchup isn't terrible, but you know, just having this in the deck and scaring your opponent to not committing or overcommitting in fear of Vermilion is also just a nice game plan. So yeah, that's generally the deck profile. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys later.